Hey, 2025 is on the horizon, right around the corner. The job market has been shifting fast in the past couple of months. So, are you ready to take on the biggest hiring months of the year? And today, I'll share with you what you need to know in the current executive job market landscape and the crucial first step to becoming the top candidate recruiters and hiring managers, basically any decision maker, can't ignore. Now, if you've been following my advice, you know that I'm only using the word candidate for the newbies because that's what most professionals consider themselves when they're looking, or when they're in any kind of active career search. But you know that you're not a candidate. You know you're a standalone investment, correct? And you also probably know that recruiters aren't the hottest ticket in town at the moment, and that proactively reaching out to that person that will end up being your boss, whether or not you know they're hiring, is the quickest way to get your perfect role. And before we dive in, I do want to take a moment to honor my beloved Bentley, who was the unofficial company mascot for the past 14 plus years. And not to ruin the mood, I promise I won't ruin the mood. He was our family's Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and he brought so much joy to my life. Like, he was truly very close to my heart and to the lives of my family, of course. So rest in peace, Job Dog. And I promise, let's get back to why you're here. I will be extra perky to compensate for my loss. All right. So we're talking about the state of the executive job market as 2024 wraps up. And as January rolls around, it will be my 22nd year in the career field. And the post-election hiring uptick that we're seeing is no surprise. Companies are gearing up for fresh starts. I would say fresh starts. January and February will be critical for executive hiring. Historically, about 35% of all hires happen in the first 2 months. And these are national numbers here in the U.S. Now, globally, I've noticed the same trend each year, especially around even the U.S. election cycle seems to have an effect on at least the presidential election cycle on the rest of the world. My clients, I see this because my clients are scattered around the world. I guess like Stephen Wright's Seashell Collection. If you don't know that reference, look it up. Okay, so if you're even considering an external career move in the next 6 months, then we probably need to talk before New Year's Day, especially because our executive career services are generally fully tax deductible, even in the higher earning brackets. Now, of course, I'm not a tax advisor, so please consult yours on your deductibility situation. But I'm going to leave a link below to schedule time with me or my team. All right. So ever since the election ended, I've seen what I wouldn't call an explosion of hiring activity, but definitely a ramp up. A few of our clients, and we only take on, a few clients at a time. We're a very small boutique firm. But a few of our clients have already landed their dream roles in the last couple of months. And there's another client who did get an offer, and I'm never going to outright tell someone whether or not to take a job. But this offer was well beneath what she's worth, and she knows it. And you know who you are. However, this hiring season isn't like previous years after a presidential election cycle. The main difference is recruitment firms like Korn Ferry, Spencer Stewart, Russell Reynolds, all of those. They're still very slow on executive assignments. I've seen this for the past 2.5 years. And instead, companies are filling those roles directly with internal HR. And I've also found, at least with our clients, that private equity firm partners, PE firm partners, have stepped in as a great substitute to reach out to. But you really have to know how to do it because it does take a different approach. And if that's something that you're interested in exploring, then we can fill you in when we talk. For my audience, executive roles that I'm talking about usually mean, especially if you're a newbie, usually mean a minimum of about $150,000 dollars a year from a cash compensation. And actually, usually it's much higher, but that's probably around the minimum that we generally work with. Our average is around 300 or 400,000, and that's going to be U.S. dollars, and it's going to be cash and not equity or stock. So the executive market that I'm also talking about is built on what I would call precision, a lot of timing, because it is seasonal. But really, it's timing as it pertains to your situation, and also you need a clear and strong personal brand. It's also a market that is going to take a solid plan, so that you're not randomly applying online for any job that comes up. Doing that turns days into weeks very quickly, weeks into months, way too easily. And in fact, just stay off the job boards completely. Just stay off the job boards. You don't need to. So let's identify where you stand, and that will tell us what you need to do next as far as the first step. All right, you're going to be either in Group A or Group B. Group A is if you've been applying online, whether on the online job boards or on direct company websites, but you're hearing crickets. It's the black hole syndrome. I would also throw into Group A anyone who's considering looking but hasn't really actually taken activity, except for maybe a passive look every once in a while, even every week, but really hasn't done anything strategic, I guess. Or if you haven't updated your resume or LinkedIn, then really it's in all of that, Group A, it's your personal brand that needs the work. Decision makers need to see in the first few seconds why you are the game changer that they need. Okay, and that message needs to be very, very clear. So Group B, if you are getting interviews, you've been in hiring processes, or you're in a hiring process or more, one or more, then but I would say if you've been told many times that you're overqualified, you've probably heard that, or that you are in lateral moves, the hiring processes for just lateral moves, or even those jobs that you've done in years past. Those are the kind that you can do in your sleep. And to be honest, you don't have to take a step backwards if you're moving from one company to another, or even one industry to another. Just know that never take a step back, because you don't have to. You really don't. It's just as easy to get something you're highly qualified for than something you're overqualified for. That actually, it's easier, faster to get a job you're highly qualified for. You just do it differently than what you've done in the past. Okay? So if you're in that Group B and you have been interviewing but not for the jobs at the level that you're qualified, then it's time to elevate how you communicate your value. You really need to showcase how you'll make a significant impact in their organization. Sometimes it just comes down to focusing on either how you've saved your employer money or employers, or how you've made them money. I know that there are a few rock stars out there that have done both. We work with a lot of them. And for you, it's going to be choosing the one that's the primary focus of your next boss in the role that you'd like to focus on next. So for both groups, the next several days are make or break weeks to set the stage for January. So I want to give you, I would say, an actionable road map. Okay. Group A. First, update your LinkedIn profile. You want to reflect a world-class personal brand. Refine your resume to a clean, compelling 2 pages. I do a 1 page. We do actually a 1 page and a 2 page for all of our clients, but the 1 page does get more response than a 2 page. But you don't need 3 or more pages. You just don't. Ditch the fluff and most of the job descriptors that just talk about, if you're taking anything from your job description, just leave it out. Focus on your achievements where you can add a quantifiable result at the end. And that quantifiable result is important, because when an employer reads this powerhouse list of ways that you've given your past employers, present employer, a substantial ROI, and you're able to show a consistent record of all of that throughout your career, then they really have no choice but to see you as the solution to their most burning problems. So position yourself as that solution to your future employer's pain points. and you're thinking, I don't know them. Well, if you don't know them, that's okay. I want you to think of your core strengths. And really, one of the things that we do with our clients is come up with 3 core strengths. So think of your core strengths as bait. And you're going fishing in a lake stocked with thousands of fish. And they're the right ones. The right ones are going to be fighting for your hook when you repeatedly cast it out into the water. Okay? So as long as you're clear on what your core strengths are, you're going to be able to find those people that need exactly what you're able to give. All right, group B, go to LinkedIn. Now, here's where you take notes. You're probably in LinkedIn anyway on a daily basis, but ignore the posted jobs. Instead, click on the top navigation. There's For Business. So click on that, then select Sell with LinkedIn. Okay, this is going to take you to Sales Navigator and sign up for the free trial. If they don't have one, I recommend signing up for it anyway, because it really turns every aspect of LinkedIn, somebody's LinkedIn profile, like everyone's LinkedIn profile, which is now over 1 billion people across the world. So it turns all of that into a searchable database. It's what we use to develop lists of exactly the right people you would want to contact. So use Sales Navigator to connect directly with decision makers that you find by selecting all of the right filters and sending a connection request to each one of those search results, whether or not you know that they're hiring. Just don't pitch yourself too early. If you send a request, they'll of course visit your profile and let your profile do the selling for you. Focus on scaling this proactive outreach because you can send up to 200 connection requests per week. So just ramp up slowly over 3 or 4 weeks, or you're going to get flagged as a spammer. You can't go from 0 to 200 in 1 week. All right. So overall, based on my experience of 21 years, from the hiring signals that I've seen in the past 60 days, I'm anticipating probably a 30%, little less than normal, but 30% increase in hiring activity in Q1 of 25 versus this present quarter of the last quarter of 2024. The opportunities, though, are probably going to slow down toward the end of March. So really, timing is everything in the first quarter. If you're not ready by the end of January, at least, you're going to miss this first quarter wave. It's not the end of the world, but you certainly don't want to wait until after you get your bonus money mid-March, because the entire executive job search process is a marathon and not a sprint. So there are overwhelming odds that say that even if you're starting the right activities today, it will still take several months to land what you deserve. So this is your moment to take control and do things in a very drastically different way in order to get drastically better results. So update your LinkedIn, refine your resume, get strategic with your outreach. And if you're ready for expert guidance, reach out to me today. Just a reminder, my firm's services are usually tax deductible, but you're going to need to act before December 31st to take advantage of that for this tax year. And the job market is waiting for somebody like you. If you're a leader ready to make a significant impact with them, let's make sure you're ready to seize that day, that month, that quarter. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm Tammy Kabell with Career Resume Consulting, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye now. Happy holidays. Bye.